Welcome to r/AskReddit by Reddit Replay. What fact sounds fake at first, but is actually real? The guy who sang Peanut Butter Jelly Time died in a police shootout. Also, his brother-in-law was there trying to talk him out of shooting himself. You know who that stepbrother was? Ducking Snoop Dogg. Ancient sailors believed that cats were magic and would often risk their own lives, even in an every man for himself situation, to save a cat from a sinking ship. All ships had at least one ship's cat, as cats would eat the rats that have always plagued ships. The ship's cat would often be given a rank, and sailors would generally take excessively good care of their cats. There isn't a single bridge across the Amazon River. Netflix was founded before Google. Chickens are one of many species of birds that don't have penetrative genitalia. Read, cocks are cockless. The method of reproduction they use is commonly called a cloacal kiss, and you can think of it as chicken scissoring, because bumping holes is the grossest possible way to phrase chicken sex. Also, chickens are not a flightless species like lots of people think, and are generally totally capable of short flight. One 10-inch pizza is more pizza than two 7-inch pizzas. When compasses were first used on ships, sailors were afraid of them because they thought it had evil powers. Compasses were stored in boxes called a binnacle. Jack the Ripper was still active when Nintendo was founded. The day Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire was the exact middle of his life, to the day. It takes 2 years for a pineapple to grow. Pocahontas and Shakespeare lived during the same time. The founders of Adidas, Adi Dassler, and Puma, Rudolf Dassler, are brothers. And their HQs are literally next door to each other in Germany. Edit, wow, 7k upvotes. Best dig out my Adidas tracksuit and Puma trainers. A Russian luxury SUV manufacturer attempted and failed to use whale penis skin for their SUV interiors. Every Canadian is allowed to get a free Canadian flag from the government. However, if you ordered a flag today, you would get it in about 110 years. Dinosaurs never ate grass because it didn't exist yet. During WWII, the Polish army had a brown bear in their ranks. The bear was really helpful to the force, particularly for carrying heavy artillery. A common ingredient in chemotherapy is horse sperm, of course listed under some long medical term. I used to deliver 100-pound tubes of it to companies that make the drugs. The Ethiopian calendar is 7 years behind the rest of the world. Edit, yeah guys, it's still 2013 there. You can fit all the planets in our solar system touching end to end between Earth and the Moon. There is no date between the 3rd of September 1752 to the 13th of September 1752. Check out the September calendar of 1752. 11 days are missing in the calendar. This is due to the fact that we converted our calendar from Julian to Georgian calendar on 2nd of September 1752. Distance from USA to Russia 4 kilometers. This fact is always amusing. Stop signs used to be yellow. In 1922, the American Association of State Highway Officials met to determine a standard design for stop signs, and that's where they decided on the color yellow, because they thought that would grab drivers' attention. They'd also considered red, but there was no dye available at the time that wouldn't eventually fade. By 1954, sign makers had access to fade-resistant porcelain enamel and could finally start making stop signs the red color recognized today. The yearly risk in the US of dying from a shark bite is around 1 in 250 million, and the yearly risk of dying from a vending machine accident is roughly 1 in 112 million. Therefore, vending machines are about twice as deadly as sharks. Cheetahs can't roar. They meow like house cats. Humpty Dumpty was never an egg. There is no mention of him being an egg in the rhyme at all. It is believed that Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon on a wall, which was destroyed. Male giraffes will headbutt a female in the bladder until she urinates, then it tastes the pee to help it determine whether or not the female is ovulating. There was a USA Gov program to communicate with dolphins while under the influence of LSD. One young female researcher actually used her hands to sexually pleasure a dolphin during that program. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than the construction of the Great Pyramid. Or that 1980 was 40 years ago. Edit for clarification. The United States has no federal law that forbids owning a tiger. The previous owner of the company Segway died from driving a Segway off a cliff. If Titanic had had more lifeboats on board, more people would have died. There are lots of unique factors that go into this. But the simple version is there was no time. Titanic's crew acted incredibly quickly as soon as it was known the ship had no chance of surviving. Preparing these massive heavy lifeboats for launch and lowering them takes a lot of time and effort. Despite their efforts, the last 2 lifeboats were floated off deck. They needed every available second to launch the boats they did have. Titanic had no time to launch more lifeboats. If there had been more boats on board, they would have been stacked, which would have added time to the already laborious and lengthy preparation and launch of the boats. They also would have been stored on deck, which would have added to an already crowded, chaotic scene the night it sank. Check out my subreddit /r/rms_Titanic. That the United Kingdom once indirectly funded an invasion of itself. During the Cold War, the US had an idea to drop XL condoms labeled medium all over Russia to make them think they are more manly. It takes about 3 to 4 generations before your entire existence is completely forgotten, assuming you don't invent the cure for cancer or discover the 5th dimension or anything like that. My dad is gay. That fact sounded especially fake to my mom after 20 years of marriage. Iran arrested 14 squirrels on suspicion of espionage. In his 19-year career in the NBA, Shaq only ever made 1 3-pointer. Pumpkins are rarer than diamonds in Minecraft. There are more trees on Earth than there are stars in our galaxy. Because the number of possible combination of genes isn't infinite, there are probably at least 7 humans that looks the same as you. There is a city in Turkey called Batman. Disney is the 2nd largest buyer of explosives in the world. 1 horse is actually 15 horsepower. Joseph Stalin was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize twice. A squirrel's brain will grow in spring, so it can remember where it put these nuts. The sun is so loud, if space was filled with air instead of being a vacuum, we'd be hearing screeching sun noises at 125 decibel at all times. That Neil deGrasse Tyson himself said that the theory that can't be disproved that scares him the most is that if you break down our reality down to its smallest construct, it is found to be binary code, which is the language that computers speak. This means that it is very possible that our entire reality is the product of a computer simulation. Lego is the largest producer of tires in the world. When large ships were first sailed through electrical storms, they would sometimes see a blue glow at the top of their mast. There was no lightning, and they thought it meant they were cursed. The average amount of arms humans have is less than 2. The combined weight of all the ants on the planet is greater than all the humans. More people suffer from the fear of balloons than fear of cockroaches. It is unhealthy to have low cholesterol in your body. Cholesterol helps to fight disease as well as feeds the brain. It's been proven that older people with a higher cholesterol count are actually more healthy than those who are deficient. Personally, I thought it was the opposite for so long. Only recently did I learn this. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, subscribe for your daily dose of Reddit. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video. And have an awesome day, you wonderful people.